Even life cannot go all the way. It has to stop at some point in the go. Ladies and gentlemen, everything starts and ends in this catastrophic war that affected most of the countries in the world, almost all of us. And everybody was just afraid of a possibility of nuclear fighting, the atomic bombs of human destruction. At the end of the day, there seems to be a little hope. Who knows who won the war? We know for sure, though, the Iranians had only survived it because they didn't start the war. Not now who will be responsible for this. Of course, President Trump is in a big problem. He didn't accomplish what he wanted to accomplish. He didn't change the regime in Iran. He didn't destroy them. Society survives. Of course, the punishment was extremely heavy. At the end of the day, people expect for this war to end. Americans are demonstrating everywhere. The Israelis are demonstrating everywhere. The whole world is on fire. Expenses are running out of control, ladies and gentlemen. So what is the solution right now? At this stage in history, we Americans think that we have lost the war. The way I look at it, because the rating has gone so low to the 30s, and the president is staggering to position himself in a winning situation. Lies, deceptions. At the end of the day, even the most powerful man in the structure of American defense has been fired. Let's go to this very interesting news, latest news, and let's see where this is going at this point in their destructive history, ladies and gentlemen. What is America thinking? We know what Americans are thinking, but what is the president doing? And how does he accept this? The reality I'm talking about, because he's losing aircrafts and everything is going wrong.
Change. Not about who is winning, but how does it end? Right now, this war has reached that point because for all sides involved, the calculations are shifting from how long they can fight to what terms they can live with. For Iran, this is no longer just about the war. It's about what comes after. This war is about survival for Tehran. The regime has taken heavy hits. Several of its top leaders have been killed. Infrastructure has been damaged. Thousands have lost their lives. And yet, the system is still standing. For Iran, that itself is a statement. Because the original aim of this war was to weaken Tehran. And by now we know that has not fully happened. So now Iran is trying to turn that.
Well, at this point, I do believe Iran has been weakened, definitely. They have weakened it, but they haven't destroyed it. It has survived. It has survived, and all it had to do was survive to win the war. In my calculation, it has won the war already.
That survival into leverage. And that is where its position on peace becomes important. What exactly does Iran want? You see, Tehran is not talking about a simple ceasefire. It's talking about a settlement. And its demands are specific. Number one, it wants reparations from the United States and Israel, payment for the damage caused by the war, which in the first place, Tehran did not start. Number two, Iran wants all sanctions removed, not eased, not suspended, but completely removed. Number three, Iran wants security guarantees, assurances that it will not be attacked again. Number four, Tehran wants a say over the Strait of Hormuz, a waterway it is currently using as leverage. In fact, Iran has made this clear. The strait will not fully reopen until a broader deal is reached. So for Iran, ending the war is not just about stopping the fighting. It is about resetting the terms entirely. But this also creates a decision point. What does Tehran do with this leverage? Continue the war or lock in a deal while it still has the advantage?
It's a very interesting moment in history. Of course, the Iranians can actually dominate the negotiation tables if Trump wants to go. One, payment. They got to pay back. Okay, they got to give up money. This is one of the demands for all the damage that took place psychologically and physically and in terms of lives and properties in Iran. My God, this will be in trillions. I don't know. Two, all sanctions removed. So Iran wouldn't have any connection with the sanctions and it can trade, it can do markets, it can just do its lives without it. Imagine these sanctions have been imposed on Iran since Ayatollah Khomeini came to power, probably about 50 years ago. Very interesting demand. This will definitely guarantee Iran's advantage from this war. It has to take this advantage and put this in practice. Right now, it's time for the Iranians to sit down and locate their problems and pin out specifications that would guarantee everlasting peace in their country and in the region. Third, assurance never to do this again. Fighting to stop between the United States and also the Iranians for good. I'm talking about for good, but the trick is Israel is not included in this deal. I don't think so. So Israel will be left alone. Is that what America is going to do? Will America betray Israel at this point? It's not now desperate Netanyahu hated at home, stand alone in this fight. What will happen to Israel? Ladies and gentlemen, if this deal passes, if Trump retreats back, what will happen to Israel? United States and Iran can stop the war, can stop hurting each other, but about Israel, what will happen to Israel is the question. And then Iran to have a say in the Hormuz, certain extent control. You understand what I'm saying? So I have no idea if America will submit to this. If America goes like this, if it accepts it, the 40 months, Trump will go to hell, the way I look at it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to say this in public, because he would have lost completely. You understand? Payment will take a lot of time, a lot of money, if he accepts that. Okay? If he just negotiates on this point, all sanctions removed will weaken America politically. That's difficult. A win card for the Iranians, and never to be attacked by America. It means America will probably never have a chance to align with Israel to do another damage in the country. It means it may curtail its tenacity to assist Israel with military arms. Maybe not that, but probably to involve with them and fight. So Israel stands alone in this situation. Well, Iran will have a say in the Hormuz. That's also another day to go. But what do Americans want? What do we need here? What does Trump actually want? We know that he wants to retreat. We know he cannot deal with this. We know everything is just going against his interests, and he's losing the war, ladies and gentlemen. And hitting each other, tit for tat, an eye for an eye will not solve this problem. Both of them must stop it at some point. But hey, there is a chance to negotiate. What does America say?
Because prolonging this conflict comes at a cost. More damage, more lives lost, and more instability. Which is why there is a view that Iran should push for a broader settlement, not just a temporary ceasefire, but a larger trade-off. This includes limiting Iran's nuclear program in exchange for full sanctions relief and a non-aggression pact where both sides commit to not attacking each other again.
Well, I think this is a good deal for Iran, basically, because they can stop building up the nuclear. Of course, as you know, 60% of the uranium has been already done. I mean, 90% is what they need to do. Okay. Therefore, at this point, this deal is good for them. if they get sanctions out of the way completely. They have already 60% enriched uranium. It cannot go to the 90%, where it can be fully active upon triggered by something. Okay, if somebody triggers that, that can turn into atomic power. You understand what I'm saying? Nuclear power. So she can stop that. By the way, I don't think Ayatollah Khomeini had the urge to do that to begin with. It is Israel's aggression, Israelism's push, and it is a reckless destruction of Gaza, and the tenacity to control the whole region that necessitated this kind of response. Israel has that power, but Iran has been denied. This is not just. But let's see what the compromise will go. For them to stop that, what will happen? What do they gain? What will America give? Well, obviously, getting rid of the sanctions, but will this be acceptable by Iran?
But here's the real complication. Not everyone in Iran thinks the same way. Hardline factions want to hold the line and push for more concessions, raise the cost for the United States. But the political leadership is more calculated. It says any deal must guarantee the security and the interests of the Iranian people.
We possess the necessary will to end this conflict, provided that essential conditions are met, especially the guarantees required to prevent repetition of the aggression.
Baltimore, it's our home, and now it's our time to give back.
I think this is to the Americans, not to the Israelis. They probably will continue pounding Israel. I don't know what America will do, but can America accept this? Let's see what the next show says. Okay.
Because together,
The ceasefire and negotiations. But its expectations are different. The US wants Iran to scale back its nuclear program, its missile capabilities, as well as its regional influence. And what does Iran get in return? Washington has offered sanctions relief.
We will see where things lead, and if we can convince Iran that this is the inflection point with no good alternatives for them, other than more death and destruction. We have strong signs that this is a possibility, and if a deal happens, it will be great for the country of Iran, for the entire region, and the world at large.
Well, I do believe this is defeatism right there. America has lost the war. But can he actually accept the poor conditions that the Iranians are imposing or say to this problem? Of course, both of them cannot continue the war. The Iranians will not tolerate this kind of damage. They said there is no space that hasn't been hit and distracted by the Americans. But Americans cannot afford the loss either. They're losing. I don't think they can involve ground troops in Tehran. It will be history like the Vietnamese experience, like the experience in Afghanistan. So America has the tendency to stop it. So all I can say right now is I don't know how the Iranians push their demands, accelerate their energies, but of course, while not fighting at the same time, because continuation of the fighting is not good for both, especially for the Iranians. And then, of course, the Israelis, they can be pounding each other. Question is, are they going to ask for America to get away, to get lost from the Persian Gulf areas, geopolitically speaking, I'm talking about, from the region entirely, from the 5 countries that it sits down, okay, based in there militarily and attacking Iran from. Can it stop that? And can this be included in the Iranians' equation? I do believe so, because America, to attack Iran, has to be close to it. And then those Gulf countries are there for it, especially like Arab Emirates and all that, Saudi Arabia, okay, Kuwait, where is the other one? Qatar. And then all these countries have now considered the issue of removing America completely from the area if Iran demands that, and I think it will demand that whether it gets it or not. But quitting the nuclear program, I think they can handle it. If they get all these things done, they can handle it and they can offer America that. And America will get a chance, not America, but Trump will get a chance to exit from the darkness he got us into with this excuse. Exit strategy by means of deception. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in the next show. Have a good time. And I'm trying to bring here sometimes in English to give you a good idea of what's happening from my own judgment. If I believe my judgment, trust me, my judgment, I have to give it back to you for your judgment to consider it rejected or accepted. But it's all about peace, man. We need this peace. They got to settle it. And there is a hope of survival from the nuclear, from the atomic bomb craziness in this situation. And let's just watch forward positively. But we Americans cannot take this anymore. It's coming to our pockets. Everybody is worried. The economy is in shambles. Too many homelessnesses outside. We cannot afford this kind of. Therefore, maybe this is a time for the American empire to collapse in terms of morality. I'm not talking about economically, at least morality. For the Americans, us to consider our actions, not to get involved everywhere, not to mess the world, considering ourselves as police, international police, not to bother the third world countries, to leave the East Africans alone, to leave, you know what I'm saying, politically speaking. Therefore, America will be great when we quit doing this. America will be really super, super, super giant if we take care of things at home instead of taking care of that. I'll see you next time. Have a good day. And make sure you like and subscribe. Here, I want to introduce you again to my new channel in English. And please go there and see this movie about this show in there too, instead of me working with 3 languages in the same channel. I appreciate that. And please, Eritrea Here and Now is a new channel in English. It's been there. Please motivate me to work some more because I want to deliver English messages, English videos in that channel, and may God be with you. So this is the channel, ladies and gentlemen, Eritrea Here and Now. It means peace everywhere here and now. Please support this. As you can see, I have some videos in there. And God bless you. I love you. Take good care of yourself.